Hi, Jennifer, Patriot Parents. This is Mr. Schambarger for our science fair this year. Hopefully your students have brought home their forms to be signed out and filled out. A little bit of changes this year, not many, but a couple. First off, I'd like to highlight the due date for these is October 4th. So most students have over a week to get these done. I do want to quick go through the PowerPoint that I did in class with them. I'm going to give you the abbreviated version. So if you need till, I know October 4th is a Thursday, if you need till Friday, that's fine. And then they just need parent permission, and as I tell them, it's not you okaying it, it's saying that you will assist them. I like to say in third grade, maybe the students are doing half to 60%. Fourth grade, the students should be doing probably 2/3 to a little more, maybe 3/4 of the work. And when they get to fifth grade, really as a parent, you should just more or less be watching and checking out safety. And then just they have to come up with a question to answer, which we will talk about in a little bit. So engineering's new this year. A lot of students have been asking for it, and the county has been doing it. So now that this is my third year, I thought I would give it a try and hope that it works out well. The best problems that students can do are, of course, real-world problems, and last year we had a second place in the county fair who chose to answer a real-world problem, and that got them second place in the county. They had a very good project beyond that, but I hope that they do a good job again this year. So the next step is, of course, doing research, finding out what's out there, the pros, the cons of the problem, and even the solution for that. And then imagine. I like to say that the students can come up with ideas that you and I can't, because their brains are just working differently. As a kid, they don't know the word, they don't know what they can't do. Alright, so what can't you do? And I hate this slide because it's a bunch of no's, but it's very important. So no vertebrates, that is, birds, reptiles, amphibians, mammals, fish, anything like that. We're not playing around with them. We're not testing them. If you have a really solid project that you want to do, there is a form to fill out, and it has to be approved, and it's really a lot of work. I'm going to strongly discourage it. No cultures, and I like to kind of point down here. It's going to be growing things such as bacteria or mold or anything like that. We're just not going to do it because of health dangers and the potential risk there. No illegal substances, drugs, alcohol, tobacco. That includes really most medicines we don't necessarily want to have. And then nothing that is not allowed in school. The caveat to that is if you're doing the experiment at home and you're not bringing it in, things like, I had a student ask me about video games today. You could probably get away with doing a video game experiment at home, but again, I don't know what you're going to be experimenting video games that is not going to have to do with humans, so that's probably why that's getting ruled out. But I'm sure there are things you can play with at home that you're not allowed to have in school. But really, that's kind of gearing more towards the no weapons, that kind of stuff. So if you have a question, please ask me. Here's a quick little video. It's a couple minutes long, about 2 minutes. And I like to show this to the students because it really does define constants and variables pretty well. When we're looking at it, the constants they're all in the same jar. They're all sitting for 30 days. They're doing all these things that are similar, and then we talk about how that's all constants, but the variable here is clearly the burgers. The burgers are different from each one, and as a result, they have completely different endings. And even the 30 days is a constant. So we can see the mold growth on them and all of this. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because it spends a minute and a half showing you the differences between them. And of course it shows the McDonald's one hasn't changed at all. So the big question is, can they do this? And a lot of students think yes, because it's a pretty cool experiment. Why can't they do it? Well, the reason is, again, you're growing things, it's quite dangerous potentially. So we're going to stick away from that kind of stuff. Here are 4 places where you can get good science fair questions. The first one that I like to show to the kids is Science Buddies, and I like this because it is almost cookie cutter for students that are just doing their first science fair. So you click find a project idea and then get ideas. There's a selection wizard. When's it due? More than a month, because we're not doing these until December. We have a good timeline for you. Choose the grade level. I'm just going to choose 4th because it's kind of in the middle here, and I can pick anything that I want. So we're going to continue, and then you go through and you're going to answer these questions. Do you enjoy gardening? Yes, sometimes no. And have your student go through and fill these out. I'm just randomly doing it to save time. But you're going through, you're answering the questions, and it's going to suggest topics that may interest you. And then there's a privacy policy. I'm a student. I'm going to say I'm a male. They don't use it to recommend a project. It's just for their own data. And then I tend to leave other just for the fun of it when I'm doing this, so I don't skew their data too much, I guess. So some of the things that they have in this, because of again, it's the answers to that quiz pop up different ones. So I know the ones that I have been showing the students has the second result is strawberry DNA. So that's just a different one. But it does go through and show you different things. This one's pretty cool. It's been popping up on mine quite a lot. Are you planning on doing a project? Remind me later. Okay, sorry. So it says you will need adult help. How to use a multimeter. There's, a little link there to help you out, figure out how to use it. I'm going to go back. Oops, too far. And it gives you all kinds of just simple things here. It gives you background, so if you want to do some research, there's already some done. I know Mrs. Schambarger would like that it has a bibliography. Also, you can use any of the library resources to do a little bit more research on it. And then materials, it provides you a material list that you need, as well as where you could get the digital multimeter. At Amazon, it's saying this one's not available anymore. That one's $20. I saw them, I hate to say this, I went to Walmart, and I know I saw it for like $8 at Walmart. So you can get them a lot cheaper than what I'm seeing here. These seem a bit more fancy. Here's one for $7. So that's going to be the most expensive part of this lab, is that multimeter if you don't have one. Everything else though is pretty simple there. Procedure, it gives you a chart to do already. It shows you what your chart should look like. And then it just goes step by step what you do and how you can do it, and you can experiment from there. And then there's a make it your own tab and everything. But this is really sciencebuddies.org really is just the easiest way to get this done, but there are a lot of other resources that are listed there too. Before I leave here, I kind of want to point out a couple other things. So due dates, they're all Thursdays, and I'd kind of have it paced out that it's like 2 weeks in between different things. I have the materials and the procedures are due the end of October, and then your results are due the end of November. So you have all of November to actually do the experiment, as well as Thanksgiving break in there. And then I like to have everything done before winter break, and the science fair will be December 20th in the evening. I want to say 5:30 to 7:30. Don't quote me on that quite yet. It's going to be in conjunction with the Polar Express night. And that's really, I've been doing it that way for the last couple of years, just to get more people out to see the science fair. In past years, when it was its own standalone event, it was very poorly attended. So at least this way we get more people to see it, which is great. And then this is just going into how your board should be set up. And this is also going to be on the packet that's provided to you and your student once it's finished. So here's the form that was there, and then the journal, which will come out, which, again, this is what your students will get to take home after they've completed. A little bit more help with the engineering projects, and we're doing that for the first year this year. Last thing is just the scoring sheet with a focus on the scientific thought or the engineering principles are going to be 40%, so that's a little bit more of it there. And then creative ability, thoughtfulness, and clarity. And there's kind of a go through and just, I have other teachers grade these and score them. So just do your best on it, and that's really all we want. Now, what do students get out of it besides the experience of doing it? Students will be getting bonus in second quarter, and I have given out prizes to first, second, and third for the last couple of years also. So there's that chance. But everybody, as long as they complete a project, no matter how nice it is, no matter how poor it is, if they finish it, they're getting credit, and I'm going to just make the biggest deal about it to them because I love that I have students doing this. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Shanbarger, SHANBARGER at ccboe.com, and I look forward to seeing all of your students' projects. Thank you so much. Bye.